Hello everyone, welcome to Barry's Book Reviews. This is episode number 22 and today I'm actually reviewing a picture book. I have the Korean version of this picture book. The English title is Love Is, but the Korean title is 편안하고 사랑스럽고 그래. And like I said, the English title has been translated as Love Is. Actually, it's Love Is Volume 1. You can get a Love Is Volume 2 in the shops now, but I haven't picked up Volume 2 yet. I'll try and get it sometime, but honestly, I spend way too much money on books as it is. The artist's name is Puuung, or I think the more correct way to pronounce it is Puuung. Puuung is the way it's spelled in Korean. And Puuung is the artist name for Park Dami. And if you look elsewhere on the channel, you can find an interview with Park Dami, with Puuung. I was lucky enough to meet her a few years ago, and she was a guest at my book club. And she was a very charming and lovely and warm person. And so please go and watch that interview if you're interested in her work. There's part 1 and part 2. So please go and watch that interview, and you can see how friendly and open and warm she is. And volume 1 of this book was published in Korean and in English at the same time in 2016. And like I said, there is a volume 2 now, which got published 1 or 2 years ago. And I say there is an English translation, but there's actually very little text in this book. So it's mostly just images. There is an introduction that's in Korean. Look, actually, I was very lucky that she signed the book for me. I hope you can see it. She signed this book to me and my wife. It says to Barry and Yanui. So that was very nice. But if you look, you can see there's not much text in the book. So there's the images, and then there's a short description or a short caption of each of the images. And actually, as far as I could see, when I looked online at the English version, the translator's name isn't listed. So perhaps Puuung Park Dami did the translation herself, or the publishing company did the translation and didn't list the translator's name. So I apologize to the translator if there was a different translator and I just didn't see their name. But like I said, I have the Korean version, and it doesn't have a translator on it, obviously. But there is a lovely introduction. Puuung writes a lovely introduction at the beginning of the book, and she sort of explains her philosophy, or the guiding principle behind her illustrations and behind her work. And she says that love emits light from small things, and comes in ways that we can easily overlook in our daily lives. So I work to find little moments of ordinary love and translate them into illustrations. And that's exactly what we get in this book. We get this sort of celebration of these joyful little moments of romantic love. And I think that idea comes across very clearly in this, particularly captivating image that she's used for the front cover. We see this young couple that features throughout the book. They also have a cat. I can't see the cat in this image. Maybe the cat is hiding, against this sort of beautiful city, night view of a city. And that really sort of captures the mood and atmosphere that Puuung is going for across this collection. And she was interested in animation for a long time. She actually majored in animation at university, but it's very interesting. She says that she didn't think she was exceptional at drawing, so she decided to work hard and draw every day. Very positive attitudes that she had. And then one day she realized that she'd never drawn something just for herself. So she found herself asking, am I happy? And she decided to draw at least one picture a day for her own happiness. And with that in mind, she began to draw things and people and places and animals, I guess, and cats. And she started doing this in 2014. And that was the beginning of what became this book series, the Love Is series, the 편안하고 사랑스럽고 그래 series. And you know, this book, you know, I'm really fond of this book. It's very, very charming. It's a celebration of love and kindness and finding happiness in another person, and finding happiness in you know, a shared day-to-day life with somebody that's full of warmth and kindness and tenderness. So it really is a sort of charming and affecting and touching book. The illustrations are you know, really quite charming. So what type of scenes, we've already looked at the front cover, but what type of scenes is Puuung depicting in these illustrations? So for example, the first image is called Serene Afternoon. A serene afternoon, and the caption is, on a quiet afternoon we read books. Sorry. Okay, right. Sorry, the second image, I'm lying. The first image, okay, yeah. The second image, this is one that appealed to me because it's two people reading books together. And the caption is Hangahan Ohu Chegil Ilgoyo. And it has a little smiley face as well. And in the English translation, you know, if you look at the English version, this becomes, on a quiet afternoon we read books. And so we have this very cute young couple, and they're in this, you know, very beautiful, idealistic apartment, which seems to be looking into downtown Seoul or New York or some sort of amalgam of romantic and aspirational cities, but anywhere, somewhere with lots of skyscrapers outside the window. And of course the books, the walls, if you can see, are lined with books. They're lined with books and bookcases. There's this sort of, you know, floor to ceiling window looking out over the city. They're both very stylishly dressed in cardigans. I should have had a cardigan on to review this book, but they're both stylishly dressed in cardigans and shirts. The young man's reading a book on the bed, and his girlfriend, this young lady, she's coming over with a tray of sandwiches and cupcakes, and it's this impossibly idealistic and dreamily romantic snapshot of a moment in time, right? These little moments in time that we often have and remember, you know, when we're in a relationship, right? Often the first stages of a relationship, we remember these little moments. And all of the illustrations in the collection, they capture these little moments, right? These are tiny moments in time, these, you know, transient passing moments, which seem insignificant in a way, these little moments that we all experience, but they build up this sort of picture of love and a relationship that's lived one day to the next, right? These days build on top of each other, and that's the shape of your relationship. So we have illustrations of them cleaning their teeth together, sort of standing side by side, looking in the bathroom mirror, cleaning their teeth. We have them having a snowball fight, playing with their cat. They have this charming cat that features in lots of the images, or just, you know, sitting, sipping coffee together, you know, as they read books and as they watch movies. You know, in one image, you might see the young man pulling a blanket over the young girl after she's, you know, fallen asleep, working at her desk. And in another, she'll be, you know, singing to him or serenading him with her guitar. And of course, they live in this, you know, unrealistically, you know, gorgeous apartment that I'm sure would cost a fortune in Seoul and elsewhere, and would be, you know, beyond the realistic means of most people. They have this adorable cat, like I've mentioned, and taken together, you know, all of these drawings, they just convey this image of warm, happy, or, you know, romantic and idealistic and aspirational love. Does it have a deeper message? Is there anything else going on here? You know, what effect do these images have on the reader? So essentially for me, I think this book is a reminder to, you know, slow down. It's not a bad message. Slow down and enjoy the small moments that we have with our loved ones. We you know, often rush through our daily lives. We, you know, forget to savor these little moments of tenderness that we have with the people we love in our lives. You know, and when I read this book, or, you know, when I reread this book, it reminds me, you know, to appreciate every day I get with my wife. And it's very easy to spend time with somebody and to forget to slow down and appreciate the life that you share together. You're consumed with anxiety about your job or about money or maybe you've got like a sick family member or something. We all have, some kind of issue or problem, weighing on our minds. Whatever your problem may be in life, it's very easy to spend too much time, ruminating or, planning or designing for the future to try and improve circumstances or something. And if you do that all the time, and it's very easy to do, we're all guilty of it, then we miss these small moments that Puuung is illustrating, in this collection, right? And these little moments that we have with the people in our lives, they comprise the fabric of our daily lives. There's this very famous John Lennon quote where he says, "Life is what happens when you're busy making other plans." And I think it's so true. We spend so much of our lives planning and hoping for the future that we miss the moments that we're actually living through. This is a great tragedy for us. And Puuung's illustrations and these, dreamily romantic and as idealistic as they are, kind of celebrate this sort of slow down and savor the moments you have with people. Of course, nobody or almost nobody, lives in an apartment this beautiful. Nobody really has, such impossibly romantic days every single day of their life. But it's very fulfilling to luxuriate, in these, aspirational and idealistic and just extremely charming images. And I suspect that anyone, who's ever been in love will recognize themselves in at least some of the small and tender moments that Puuung is depicting in this collection. So it really is, very charming, and I suspect that many people will adore the images that Puuung shares in this book. The English title is Love Is. It's volume 1. The Korean title is 편안하고 사랑스럽고 그래. I apologize for my terrible Korean pronunciation. And like I said, there's an interview on the channel as well with Puuung. Please go and watch the interview. And hopefully at some point in the not too distant future, I'll get round to reviewing Love Is Volume 2. Anyway, thank you for listening today. Take care, and I'll see you in the next episode.